full house here with us tonight.
I like it.
TC back with us, and once again joined by our man Mike Boyle, coming in to give us a recap of the season this year as the regular season ended last night, and the Chiefs are headed into a first round matchup with Prince George. Um, honestly, I seem to have been in the minority, but I'm sure Boiler doesn't feel this way, but I wanted to play Prince George over Kelowna
Yeah.
because I personally think that we played them better overall this year than we played Kelowna. Kelowna kind of kicked our ass all year,
They
but
handled us very well.
either way, it's going to be a tough task.
It is. I mean, you just look at the record this year, 0-4 against PG and 1-4 against Kelowna. So you knew that either way, the Chiefs were going to be
Yeah,
in for a tough battle.
Yeah.
There's no question they are. The BC division was not kind to Spokane this year. So I think that the biggest thing for the Chiefs is that they've just got to rebound from the disappointment of losing their last game at home to Seattle and then having to go to Prince George. I mean, yeah, I think they feel like they can play with Prince George and beat Prince George, but at the same time, no one looks forward to that road trip. I can tell you right now, Chase Harrington's the only guy on that bus that's going to be looking forward to going back to PG. So I think that it's going to be a case of can they get through the mental letdown? And
yeah,
I think that's going to be a big factor starting off this series because you don't want to start off 0-2 up there because it's a 2-3-2 format. And yes, you're coming back for three straight games at home, but now you're in a situation that if you drop the first two, you've almost got to win all three at home to have a chance.
Yeah.
yep,
Because if you only get two of the three at home, you're going back up to PG on that 13-hour ride, knowing you have to win two in a row. And that is going to be a very difficult scenario for him. So I think they just got to get through the fog, the funk of losing that last game and come out and try to get one up in PG to start to have a chance.
yeah. It's going to be they need to go in and split. That's the big thing. You need to go in with that mindset if you're playing on the road the first two games of the playoffs, no matter where it's at. You got to go in and split because I mean, yeah, like you said, if you don't split and you go down 0-2 coming back home, you're in trouble.
Big trouble. And especially in the fact that I think that the success that Prince George had against Spokane this year, even though three of the four wins were by one goal,
Hmm.
I still think that as a competitor, if you're used to beating another team, you have the confidence knowing that, you know what,
Yep.
we should win. We're better than they are. And
Yep.
that's what PG is going to be carrying in. And for the Chiefs, they've really got to overcome that, oh, we didn't find a way to win. We know we can win, but we haven't proven it yet.
Yeah.
So they got to get past that and actually get it done. I think once they get a win in the series, they'll be fine. But if they continue to have close calls, uh, it's going to be a short series.
What do you feel like they lacked over the weekend, this last weekend?
Oh, you know, I thought the weekend was an encapsulation of the season, to be quite honest. I mean, I thought there were moments where they really played well,
Hmm.
and then there were moments where it was just head shaking, and you just couldn't explain why is this club who's capable of playing so much better and has shown that they can not getting it done.
Yeah. I was
So
hoping we were done seeing that from them when they won several games in a row. I was hoping that was behind us, but it's obviously still in there somewhere.
it is. It is. I mean, when they won six in a row, I figured, oh, okay. But you know, the warning signs were there too. I looked at the month of February, and we had 12 games that month, and I thought to myself, they should go 10-2 when I first looked at it, and they
Hmm.
came close. They went 9-3. But you look at the three losses that
Hmm.
they had. They lose to Vancouver, who was the worst team in the West. They lost to Wenatchee at home, who was next to worst,
Hmm.
and they lost to Seattle or Tri City. Lost to Tri City in one game. Or no, not Tri City,
It
Seattle.
was
Lost to
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost to Seattle in one game. So it was like, maybe they're not over the hump when it comes to that. But again, I thought the first week of March was going to be the real litmus test for this club. After going 9-3 in February, they're going up to Kelowna and Prince George. I said, here are the two teams they're more than likely going to look at in the first round of the playoffs. How
Hmm.
are they going to play on this trip? And on the whole, I was disappointed. That's just the
Yeah.
word I kept going back to. I was just disappointed with how they went
Hmm.
over those three games. Again, moments where they played well, moments where it was just like watching them in October. So I thought, three in a row losing to teams you're going to look at. But they came back, rebounded, got the three wins. But then this last weekend, you dropped two of three, two to Seattle, who was, desperate. But at the same time, by the time Sunday rolled around, they were locked in to where they were
Yeah.
going. They had nothing to play for,
Yep.
zero. And they rested three of their top guys.
Yep.
Yep.
And yet we go out and lay a stinker. I thought first period, all over them.
Big,
17 shots, and
big time.
Schwanika was fantastic in
Oh, he
net.
was great.
He was awesome.
He made every save he needed to make, but at the same time, hey, you're going to run into that. You're going to run into that. You're going to run into hot and good goalies, and you've got to be able to overcome that. And I thought that we just regressed as the game went along. The
Agreed.
power play looked like it did in November.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
was struggling.
Was it
Couldn't
over
complete
6,
that.
right?
Yeah, they get two, they 0 for 6 that night and 0 for 4 in the second period.
Mm-hmm.
And they give up a breakaway goal after failing on a power play. You know, it just it was just a mess. And so it's not the kind of game you want to go into the playoffs on.
For sure. For
So
sure.
I hope they get through it mentally and they come out, prepared to get back to where they were last week as compared to what they did this past weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking at their overall record this season. I mean, 36-30-2. No shootout losses, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But it's just indicative of what we saw. It was just highs and lows. Up, down, up, down. They're just a smidge over 500. They never really found a way other than in February to get anything going that could kind of give themselves some distance away from that inconsistency. And it's frustrating for
Yeah.
sure.
That's the
Yeah.
thing is we had those chances to do that too. I mean, up
Yes.
until we went on that 6 game winning streak, we were a 500 team pretty much all season, like
Oh
right
yeah.
on the dot. It was like you're winning one, then you're losing one. And like going into the year, we're the second ranked team in all of the Canadian Hockey League. And so it's like where we're at now, based on where we were supposed to be, based on all that stuff, it's like it's so crazy to think that the potential that this team has and had at the beginning of the season is just and then where we are now.
That is, and I thought, frustrating. TC said it just really has been that. And I think it's been all the way down the chain within the organization. There's been a great deal of frustration watching this group this year. You got 16 players back from a team that went to the Western Final
Yeah.
Yeah.
last year. That's a significant number of players to have back.
Especially in
Granted,
this league.
we lost three key pieces up on the front line
Hmm.
that were absolutely monsters for us offensively. But you figured that even if some of the guys coming back got to three-quarters of that production
Hmm.
of what they had, you were going to feel pretty good of what you were going to have. And I know a lot of was expected of Mathis Preston at the beginning of the year. Owen Martin was another one. Chase Harrington. You can go down the list of that forward group. And I remember talking with you guys. I thought it was the deepest forward group we've ever had.
Yeah.
And on the whole, when you look back at the production they've put up, it's been okay, but it hasn't been where the expectation was.
Right.
It hasn't. It just
Yeah.
has not.
Yeah.
So, I think that's where you can start. You would think that it would be breakdowns in goaltending or defense that would lead to the up and down. Uh, Goaltending's probably been the strongest element for this club all year long. And for me, I thought that was going to be the biggest question mark
Hmm.
for us.
That was my
You know,
biggest question mark coming
how
into the
is Linus
season.
Viard going to respond?
Yeah.
playing in North America for the first time in a schedule that he's never been used to playing. How is Carter Essler going to be as a 17-year-old in his second year after seeing limited time in the second half of the regular season, his 16-year-old season, and saw action in one playoff game?
Yeah.
So now you're thinking, okay, we got these two pretty inexperienced guys. How much are we going to get from them? Well, I thought we got a ton, to be
Agreed.
quite honest.
I think Essler blew everybody's expectations out of the water. I made that comment last night. I mean,
Yeah.
he was so good, especially in the second half of the year and to start the year too. But man, he has carried the load,
Yeah.
and I don't think the Chiefs would be in the position they're in if it weren't for Ezzy.
When
No
he knew
question.
he was the guy, he's really carried
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
No question. I think that, as his performance after Linus got hurt.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 13 straight starts and he was excellent in every single one of them. And I think that's, the one thing that you were looking to build on if you're the Chiefs, whether or not he was going to be able to handle that load and stay consistent throughout. He did. I mean, he did everything you could ask of him. And so, when you look back at expectations, the goaltending has exceeded what I think the team was in for. So, you break it down, goaltending I thought was, the best overall on the club. I thought defensively, for the most part, pretty good.
Hmm.
I think there were a couple of players that probably struggled a little more than I thought they would this year. But Rhett Sather blew me out of the water as far as his development this year. I mean, you're
Oh yeah.
looking him for taking a step. He took a leap.
It's night
Yeah.
and day difference.
Big time.
Night and day.
Yep. I mean, as a 16-year-old last year, he didn't play very much, and he was kind of a 7-8 guy on the roster, on the blue line. And so coming into this year, I was thinking, okay, hey, if he can give them productive minutes as a 5-6 guy, awesome.
Hmm.
But he's been number one guy for me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as far as from the beginning of the season to now. I think, has been the most consistent, and
Hmm.
he's put up excellent numbers. And he's been the one guy on that blue line that can consistently carry the puck out of the zone.
We were
Yep.
commenting on that a couple games ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been excellent. So, Will McIsaac, I think went through a little bit of a roller coaster, much like the team
Hmm.
this year. Showed signs where, hey, he's starting to get more confidence in his offensive game. And he's becoming, a physical force defensively. And then there were nights where it was like there was nothing of those
Yeah.
elements.
Exactly. I feel like he's
So
been more consistent since he got named captain, and it's been better. But yes, agreed.
that's a great observation because I agree with you 1,000%. I think since he was named captain, I think there's been a laser focus to him, and he has really lived up to it.
He's got
He's
some
been
purpose
excellent.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, rose to the occasion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he certainly has. I,
Yeah.
I think that it's been great to see that out of Willie. Nathan Mays, for me, he's been a roller coaster this
Yeah.
year. And I
Yep.
don't know if he's maybe put too much pressure on himself, having gone to Maple Leafs camp and coming back. And I'm sure, what he's being told by the big club as to what they're expecting out of him. There's been some struggles for me with Mazer this year. Offensively, I don't think he's been as good this year as he was last.
Agreed.
Um,
Agreed.
Defensively, there have been moments where, he has struggled to stop the rush or make the right play. So I just think it's all mental right
It
now with
is.
Mazer.
Yeah.
When he's locked in and he's a physical force, he's a great D man in this league.
Reminds me a little bit the way Jared Cowan was too.
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
up and down sometimes. Expectations high, but performance not so high.
Right. And I think that's a good analogy is that Cows went through that same thing after,
Hmm.
big 16-year-old season on the Mem Cup winning team,
Yep.
17-year-old season. It was kind of like, where are we going here? So I'm looking forward to Mazer having a big playoffs. I think that, the Chiefs are going to need him if they're going to advance. He's got to be a big time minutes eater and good performer. I think it's helped him to have Merrick Howell back there too. Merrick,
Yeah.
he's not a flashy guy, but he's a solid guy. And you know what you're going to get night in and night out. And that's the one thing I've loved about him in the lineup is that he's consistent. He's kind of like a Michael Reddington for me,
Hmm.
where,
Hmm.
you put him in the lineup, you know what you're going to get every night out of him.
Hmm.
And he's done a really nice job. And of course, got a nice goal against Tri-City
That was
Hmm.
a
last
great
Saturday. I
shot.
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it
showed
was.
showed some Bobby Orr in him that I didn't know
Yeah.
existed. Um, and you get to, Owen Shetler. And again, I think he's been like Mazer this year. He's had good moments and then he has struggled as well. He's been an up and
Yeah.
down as well this year. And I think he's just tried to find his game and where he wants to evolve this year. For lack of a better term, has kind of struggled to advance to the advanced master's course in
Yeah.
defense this year. He has shown moments to me where he has been excellent.
Hmm.
And then there have been moments where it's like, ooh, really struggling. So, again, he's another one that I think they need a big playoff series out of him because when you're talking about defense minutes, the five I've just talked about, they're going to be eaten, you know,
Yeah.
20 minutes a night,
Oh yeah.
18 minutes a night. I mean, they're going to be out there a lot. So they've got to be good for Spokane to make any kind of a mark in this playoff series.
What do you think
Yeah.
about the rookie defensemen, Harry Mattern and Nolan Saunderson? I think both of them had really good rookie seasons. I'm really impressed with Harry Mattern's game. I think he's a bit of a physical presence back there, even being a little guy too, and he's got a hell of a shot too.
No question. If I'm the coaching staff, I'm not, but just from my observations of seeing every minute they've played this year, I'd be real pleased with what I've seen coming out of both Nolan Saunderson and Harry Mattern. I think that, the future's bright for them. Nolan's going to be more of a puck carrier. He's a guy that, still needs to work on his angles and able to cut off rushes from guys on the wings. I think, that he needs to work a little bit on his speed as well. Just little things to work on going forward. But I think he's made some great advancements this year. And Harry Mattern, as you mentioned, boy, he's going to be a physical force on that
Yeah.
Hmm.
back end. He's found his ability to time hits and really make his physical presence known back there. I loving to see his development. He's kind of like a mini Sage Weinstein
That's exactly what I was going to compare him to.
because I can remember Sage as a 16 and you could see the physicality out
Hmm.
of him and you're going, boy, I'd love to see him when he's 18,
Hmm.
19 years old. And of course, he developed into a defenseman that's now playing in the Colorado Avalanche system. So I think with Harry, it's just going to be a matter of getting more time on the back end, which he will certainly get next
You will
year.
get.
And he'll be a guy that will be a top four D man pretty easily next year for this club.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that I think that the young guys and the 16-year-olds that we brought in this year, I think offensively, defensively, both all made their marks on this team. I mean, Tristan Buckley, I thought was really, really good. Fourth line guy this year. Ethan Hughes being a veteran, within the Western Hockey League, I think he fits in anywhere you can put him. And
Exactly.
he really came alive late in the season too.
Yeah, he's been playing great.
Big time.
We had him on the podcast about a week ago, and he was just a super nice kid. And ever since we had him on, he's just putting the puck in the back of the net left and right.
The
He,
podcast pop.
get him on more often then.
No kidding,
Exactly.
right?
I think with Husey, I think he found his role. I just thought that, there were just instances for him where it's like, okay, what is he going to do for this club?
Yeah,
Where is he going to be most apt to help? And I think that he found that as we got
Seems like
later
it.
in the season. There's no question that putting him on that power play unit, I think, was a big boost for him.
100%.
Um, being able to play down low net front along the goal lines below the circles, I think, was perfect for him. He's got great hands, and he can get his stick on a puck. He's usually going to make a play with it of some sort, whether it's a shot or a pass. And I thought that once he got there on the power play unit, after they went to the five forward formation on the
Hmm.
top unit, and they put Husey on that second unit, I think that really got him going. And there's no question that he's playing his best hockey going into the postseason, which will be a huge boost. And you mentioned the rookies. Ozzie McIntyre is another guy that's really come on for me.
Yep.
I thought really struggled as a 16-year-old, again, trying to find his role.
Hmm.
And I think probably struggled a little bit at the defensive end and therefore was finding his minutes limited a little bit. But after he had that ankle injury and came back in February, he has been excellent. And
He has
for
One,
me, he was our best player on the BC road trip.
by
yeah,
far.
once the puck went in a couple times for him, he really thrived on that.
No, no doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. And the thing is, he was looking to make plays,
Yeah.
which he wasn't doing before. It was like he'd get
Hmm.
the puck and dump it, or get the puck and just get rid of it as quickly as he got it. Once he got that goal again in Kelowna on the first
Hmm.
game of that trip, now he was looking to be a playmaker, looking to make plays. I thought his goal in Prince George was great because he did exactly what you're supposed to do: charge hard front of the net and right there to make a play.
Yep.
And he was physical. I just really thought that we were seeing the Aussie McIntyre that I think the franchise was looking to get when they put
Yeah.
him as a first round pick. Tristan Buckley, you mentioned him. I think he's been excellent as well for Spokane. His puck handling ability has been very, very good. He's got a very good shot.
He
I don't
does.
think he shoots the puck enough, to be quite honest. Looking forward to him continuing to progress. I don't know, what his minutes are going to be in the playoffs. He wasn't playing an awful lot there towards the end. He was sick. Went through an illness phase, which kind of went through the team, and that kind of limited his minutes a little bit. And unfortunately for him, Ozzy came back and lit
Hmm.
it up. So we'll see how his playing time's affected come playoff time. I'm looking forward to see him getting a chance though
Me
in the
too.
lineup because I think he can really make a difference with his ability to handle the puck in the ozone.
And Gavin Burkhardt is another one that I think
Oh yeah.
had a pretty solid year overall too. I'm looking forward to seeing him be next season getting some more minutes on like the second, third line and seeing what he can do offensively. Because I mean, he put up 7 goals this year as a 16-year-old rookie on the fourth line playing, I mean, he played majority of the games, but I think he really did well for himself.
No question. I thought he represented himself well. And the thing that he has a little more than, say, Ozzy and Gavin, or I should say, Ozzy and Tristan, is that Gavin is a bigger kid. He's
Hmm.
a, he's a physical guy that can get down in the corners, make plays. He can get net front and make plays consistently. And he can really take his game to the next level next year. He's going to be a force in this league by the time he's 18. No question in my mind.
You guys got anything to ask? I've been yapping.
That's because you're an eligible guy.
I don't know about
Uh,
that.
no, I'm just looking at the skater stats right now on my phone, just seeing if there's anything that stands out to me. I was really impressed with Coco's season. I thought he was
Oh,
awesome all year.
That's
Um,
another guy that's going to need to be huge in this series.
yeah, we're gonna need
Yeah.
him bad. Um, Tyus Sparks, great trade. I've loved watching him play. Um,
I feel like
little
all the guys we got in trades
yeah,
have been good.
little disappointed in Sarky's season. I'm a big Sarkinov guy. I know obviously there was visa issues, so he missed a lot of games, but
mm.
man, I was a really big fan of his last year. So the fact that he only put up about 11 or put up 11 points this season is pretty disappointing in my eyes. But
I think that's another guy that really came on stronger toward the last month of the regular season too, though.
Agreed.
He
yeah,
got that one goal and that blowout win, and it was late in the game, and I feel like ever since then he's been more consistent, and I feel like he's been better about not overhandling the puck, and he does handle overhandle the puck, but he makes the right play afterwards.
Right.
Is
I
he
feel
going to be
like
able
now he's
to?
just afraid of getting in trouble and getting a penalty or something too. He almost looks a
Yeah.
little timid out there to me this month.
Is he going to be
Like,
able to make the trip north for the first two games?
Yes,
Is he? Okay,
yes, yes.
that's good.
He'll be able to make the trip. So
That's good.
that's going to be a positive. Yeah, I think with Sarkey, you mentioned the fact that he missed a number of games, and he had the visa issues, and then he went to World
World
Junior,
Juniors.
Yeah, true. Yep.
that Group A tournament, and he was gone for a good month and a half or more with that
Yeah.
tournament. I think it really set him back.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind that he was still adjusting to the North American game. Really came on last year, playing usually with Sam Maremba. Um, this year he's kind of bounced around the lines a little bit because he just hasn't been able to find any consistency to his game. He's been a lot better of late. There's no
Yep.
question. And I think that the improvement for me has come in the fact he's become more of a physical player.
Hmm.
He's using his size and using his physicality to make plays on the walls. And what I've loved about him, and even this past weekend, he was a factor down
Yeah.
on that low wall, and he'd make the right play with the puck
Yeah.
98% of the time. He'd get the puck, and he knew exactly where to go with it. Um, Obviously, his net front presence, I think, needs to be more. He could be just a beast out front in the fact that, hey, if the goalie has trouble seeing it, bobbles it, Sarkey can be there. He's got great
He's
hands
got great hands.
and stick it in the net. I mean, I think that's where he needs to really focus in on. He has to play in a way that I always wished Ty Shovel-Dayoff played. I wish that Chevy had played net front more often because I think he would have just been a beast in the league and scored 35, 40 goals if he had
Hmm.
done that. But he didn't. And Sarkey needs to get to that level if he's going to be an effective player in this league. The big question is will he be able to do it in the playoffs? Um, we will see. That's going to be a big question mark. But I think if you see the type of contribution from him in this first series with Prince George, like you saw last year,
Yep.
particularly in the Portland series, I think that, the Chiefs are going to be in very good shape.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we need everybody to step up and
Hmm.
take an extra step or two forward in their game going into Prince George because you're facing Parasak and Boria and or not Boria Vallis isn't there anymore. I was just it's funny. I was thinking because I was just looking a little bit ago. I have a box of the CHL cards, and he's one of the cards that I have. So that name was just in my head for some reason. But Ravensburgen is who I was thinking of.
Well,
Well, I feel like
And
Ravensburgen and Parasak have been in the league for 8 years. Like
Seems like it.
I,
It seems like it.
well,
but
no question, they were big players against us 2 years ago in the playoffs when they swept that first round series. Uh, Ravensburg, and that's where everything's got to start for me, is that they have got to get net front and they have got to make his life miserable as far as seeing the puck.
Yep.
If they just play on the perimeter like they did on Sunday,
Like they did last night. Yeah.
yep, if they play like that, it's going to be a short series
mhm.
because he's an elite goaltender. He led the league in save percentage this year. He was amongst the top four in goals against. He led the league in wins. He's a first round NHL pick, which you don't see that very often.
No.
NHL teams don't pick goalies in the first round unless they're really special. And Ravensburgen, he's a big kid that's athletic, and when he sees the puck, he makes the save,
Yeah.
and he can win games for you. So the Chiefs have to make his life miserable. For me, that's where it all starts in this series. They have
Yeah.
got to get in his eyes. They have got to get net front. They've got to be physical out front and make things unpleasant for him. If they don't, they will not win this series.
Yeah, and I think to go along with that, the veteran aspects that we got via trade this year with the 20-year-olds, I feel like they're going to need to be huge. And I think I noticed when we got Logan Wormold in that trade, I feel like that was kind of the start of the turning point that turned the season around a little bit
A little bit.
because you look back to how Marty and Harrington were playing and at the beginning of the season, they weren't ready to take that step yet.
Yep.
And once you acquired a guy like Wormold, who's got, now he's got over 300 games of WHL experience, as a captain for Lethbridge, you put them on a line with Wormold, it's like that. It was different. And even I noticed it with Mathis Preston too, before he was traded as well. I think having a guy like Wormold just makes the biggest difference on any team. And the Chiefs are lucky to have a guy like that too.
Agreed. And I will say that of all the deals they made, that was the best one. Um, in the fact that, his ability to lead, he doesn't have to be real vocal. He leads by example. His forecheck ability is he and Coco Armstrong for me are the best forecheckers on the club.
Hmm.
Um, but where Logan kind of separates himself, his backtracking is elite. Like he gets back defensively and he makes plays doing so. And it's such an example setter for the younger forwards and the veterans as well. It's like this is how you're supposed to play. His 200-foot game is excellent. I was impressed with that when I saw him in Lethbridge. He's been even better than I thought, though,
I
watching
agree.
him nightly. He has been great. And him going at the top of the power play has been a difference maker. No question. I talked with Brad Lauer about that on Sunday, and he said, "Yeah, Rhett Sather did a good job up there, but Logan Wormel took the next step because his playmaking ability is at a top level, and
Yeah.
he can see the ice. And he and Dom Peter are the guys that can really see that ice. And so him up top, Peter on that right wing, Sparks on the left wing that can finish with anybody. That has really been a three-headed monster for Spokane on that power play. And then you got Harrington and Martin working down low and doing their thing. It's been an excellent power play until Sunday for Spokane.
Yeah.
I mean, literally the last month and a half, they've been great and amongst the top five in the league.
Yeah,
And I know that they got to continue it against Prince George because the Cougars are, for me, when you're looking at power play and penalty kill combined, they're one of the top two teams in the league in my mind as far as the ability to kill penalties as well
No
as score on
doubt.
the power play. They're going to be excellent on special teams. The Chiefs have to at least match that. If they're losing the special teams battle on a nightly basis, it's not going to bode well for this club.
Yeah, you're looking at the power play totals from ending the year in the worst power play in the Western Hockey League. But I think that stretch that they had the first 2.5 months of the season just it really set them downhill from there because in the last month and a half, it's been one of the best power plays in the league.
exactly.
Well, I mean,
Um,
they've literally risen almost, 8, 9%.
yeah,
I mean, that's significant as far as, your ability to rise in a team statistic by that much in that short of a period of time. It tells you how elite that they have been operating at. I mean, they were operating over 50% over the last couple of weeks of the regular season until that game Sunday.
yeah.
So, I mean, they've done everything they can do there. Fortunately, the penalty kill has been fairly consistent this year. I've had some outings, and that's going to happen with any club. But at the same time, I feel pretty good about where they are with that PK. And again, that's where a Logan Wormold has been huge on that penalty kill. He and Owen Martin have been the top two forward guys. And then that enables you to put Coco Armstrong out there with Sam Aremba. And
Hmm.
I mean, I'll put those four up front with anybody in the league as far as their penalty killing ability.
A thousand
So
percent.
they've
Yeah,
been very, very good. And so they're going to have to continue it. It's going to have to be more of the same going forward because Prince George power play has been excellent all year. The big gun for them, former Chief Cooper Gazowski.
Yeah.
Gizzy's been
good for
excellent
him.
on that power play, second in the league in power play goals. And, he's always had an elite shot. Saw that with him when he was here as a 15 and a 16. He can snipe it from the wing, and if you give him any kind of an opening, it's going to end up in the back of the net. So, Chiefs are going to have to key on him a little bit because Parasak's ability to not only shoot but also set him up makes that Cougar power play unit very, very good. And you got Carson Carl's up top, who's one of the top defensemen in this league.
Yep.
He's a youngster, and he's not, draft
He's
eligible.
17, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
Man.
kid that is going to be in the NHL
Yeah.
one day. I mean, he
Some of
is
the
that good.
defensive talent, some of the
Yep.
defensive talent in this league right now.
It is. The defensive talent is high, and Carson Carls for me is one of the top three guys. I mean, I watched him in the prospects game, and for me, I thought he was the best defenseman out there, and uh, he's a special player. So you got a guy like that on the back end. You got a Ravensburg in net. You got a Parasak who's a first round NHL pick up front. This Cougar team's going to be a force.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot. And I mean, obviously I'm not thrilled with the fact that we have to go up to Prince George and play in the BC division where we've struggled against them all year, but I think that I've made the comment earlier this week. It's like we've beaten the good teams, the best teams. We've shut out Everett. We've beat Penticton. I mean, you look at those games, then we played a complete 60 minutes. Every guy on the ice played a full 60 minutes. We need that every single game right now in order to at least have a chance. And I'm hoping that they go to Prince George and at least split that series and come back here for three straight and just kind of let it be how it's going to be. But we have to go up to PG and split.
No question. No question. Yeah, you mentioned the success that they've had against, the top teams in this league. Um, I saw them win at Edmonton. Um,
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
Excellent
too.
club. They took Medicine Hat down to the wire in a one-goal loss
right.
in Med Hat. I mean, this club has shown that it can beat any team in this league on any night. And I think that is, again, the most frustrating part with this club
Hmm.
Because they
is
can
that,
also lose to any team in the league.
well, exactly. And they can turn right around and lose to any club in the league. And that's been the frustrating part for me is that,
Yeah.
they show you what they're capable of and then they turn right around and lay an egg. And I'm hoping that, with the playoffs light on, that the light bulb goes on and there's a maturity level that rises up with this club that says, okay, four losses and we're out. Let's show what we're capable of and take every shift like it's our last. And I think if they do that, they'll be fine. But, the big concern for me is that, 68 games in, and here we are still talking about some of the same problems they had back in game 10.
Right.
So, I mean, that to me is a big alarm. Um, I hope it changes, but I am not 1,000% confident that it will.
Who's the big
Yeah.
voice in the room that can try to convey that, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's more of a committee, but Will obviously is the captain. He's well respected in that room, and I think it was shown when the Players Player Award, Terry Bartman
Hmm.
Award, was
Hmm.
given out, and Willie was the guy that was named. I mean, I think that says it all. Um, Willie got some great examples of captaincy with Reagan Wiles and Berkeley Catton, showing him how to be a good captain. I think he has been that and then some. He's been
Hmm.
very, very good in that role. I think he's kind of like E.F. Hutton when he talks, people listen. You know, I think he's the one guy that people are going to be looking at. But again, I look at guys um, like Sam Aremba and Logan Warmold that have to be there to speak up. Chase Harrington's another guy, that he's not afraid to lend his 10 cents on an issue. I think that those guys will probably be the ones leading the way for Spokane, and they have to. Um, and not only that, not only vocally, but I think anymore you've got guys that have to lead by example. I think
Example.
that's where your best leaders usually do that. And so every shift on the ice, they're showing, hey, this is the way we need to play to win. And I think that guys have a tendency to follow that example when they do so. Conversely, if you're not doing it, the other guys just go, okay, well, that's the way we're playing, and that's what they do. So we'll see how it goes. I'm anxious to see how game one goes. I worry a little bit, and that the travel's going to be brutal. It's an all-day ride Wednesday up there, like leaving 8 in the morning, getting in at 11 at night. Um,
My goodness.
yeah, I mean, now you're looking at, kind of getting your legs back Thursday, and now you got to come out hopping on Friday. So that to me, I'm going to look at what kind of start that they get off to in that first period. But it won't shock me if they kind of come out a little slow in the first period. I'm hoping not, but just considering the travel circumstances, I can easily see it happening.
I'm hoping with
Well,
the reputation. Sorry,
no,
Elliot.
you're good. Go for it,
I'm
bro.
I'm hoping with the reputation that that building's pretty loud and obnoxious, with it being a playoff and being on the road, and probably not being picked to win this series by really anybody.
Right.
Hopefully that's enough to carry in the first game, and they don't come out slow.
I,
Um,
I hope so as
'Cause
well. I mean,
frankly, I feel like if they're going to win this series or at least have a chance in it, they got to punch Prince George in the mouth game one.
I
Like,
agree.
that's
And that's
I
my
agree.
biggest question mark
yeah.
going in is the one thing that I've really noticed from this team is when other teams play us physically, we can't seem to match them physically. But if we come out and play physically to start the game, we're such a better team as if if we weren't playing that way. But I felt like we saw it last night with Seattle. I mean, again, a team that had nothing to play for came out and just kicked our
Took
ass
it to
in,
us.
in every way, and
Yeah.
they're physical with us, and we just seem to kind of shut down after that. So we need to be able to match Prince George's physicality because they're gonna be physical.
No doubt. No doubt. And they've got a tough bunch up there. Aiden Foster's a big guy that really sets the
Vaughn
tone up front.
too.
Yep. And, Vaughn on the back end for sure. I mean, they've got some guys that can lay the body. And there's no doubt that as a home team in front of a loud crowd, they're going to be flying to start the game. And so I think the Chiefs, have to match it at least as far as
Yeah.
physicality and intensity. If they fall behind the eight ball in that department, not going to bode well for this club at all.
Mm-mm.
I do like that this team does have a lot of playoff experience, though, from last year, as well as the guys that were brought in trades have a lot of playoff experience. So hopefully they don't get caught like deer in a headlight in that first period. Because I genuinely think that first period on Friday night, we're going to learn a lot about how this series is going to go.
Yeah.
And they got to come out fast, and they got to, like Boiler said, they got to match that intensity that Prince George is going to come out with, because they're going to be flying. So if they come out slow and we're down 3-0 10 minutes
Oh,
in,
yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
a tough series. I think tough sledding from there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to us 2 years ago up there in
That's
Hmm.
yeah,
PG. Yeah, they
yep.
jumped on us and they kept us down throughout that series. It's just like we were fighting uphill from game one on. And, this club, has a few guys back from that time. And hopefully, remembers that. There's no lack of motivation for this hockey club going into this series. Zero lack of motivation. I mean, there's so many things that they can attach themselves to get themselves ready for this series. And I certainly hope they lean on all of them because they're going to need to. It's not going to be an easy series at any stretch of the imagination. They're not going to be the favorite, as you mentioned. For me, if Spokane's going to win it, it's going to take at least 6, maybe 7 games to get it done. Um, whereas Prince George, if they have their way, it could be over quick in 4 or 5.
Hmm.
So that's to me is going to be the difference is that, are the Chiefs able to sit there and take a couple of punches and punch right back and make their game impose their will on Prince George. I mean, that's going to be a huge thing for me and what I'm going to be watching particularly not only on Friday but also Saturday.
My last question for you: how do you think Carter Essler is going to come out and play?
I think he's going to be fine. I honestly think he's going to be just fine. He has played so much here down the stretch. I don't think there's any worry on my part, anyway, of fatigue. I think he's just gotten better and better. I think he likes playing a lot,
Mhm.
and I think he likes being challenged. And so he knows. that guy at the other end is a first round NHL pick, which is where he wants to get someday.
Yeah.
And he's going to be anxious to show how good he is compared to that guy down at the other end of the ice. I think, of all the guys on the club that I don't worry about as far as what they're going to be ready to do and performance wise, it's going to be Ezzy.
Right there with you.
Well, and you know
Yeah.
what? Whenever we talk playoff hockey, if you have confidence in your goalie, that's the number one key. Like we could sit here and talk all night about how disadvantaged this team is compared to Prince George, but if we're not worried about our starting goaltender, I mean it's good enough for me to believe we got somewhat of a shot.
I agree. You got it because it's all got to start there.
Yep.
It's all going to start between the pipes. And if as he plays like he has over the last month and a half to 2 months, the team will be fine. Because even if they make a mistake, he's going to be there to make the save that they need to have.
Yep.
I thought he was really sharp in that game in Seattle on Friday. I think if he's playing an average game, Chiefs lose that game by 3-4 goals.
Yeah.
He made every big save that he had to make. And you look back at the goals that Seattle got, not one I look at and go, well, he'd like to have that back. No, he just didn't stand a chance on him because there were breakdowns in front of him.
Yeah.
So I'm really feeling confident about him. I think for him, he's going to look at it as another game. Even though, his one playoff game against Victoria last year didn't go very well. It was a tough situation where he literally found out 10 minutes before the dropping of the
Right.
puck that he was starting.
Yeah.
That 16-year-old goalie. Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, cows can't go. You're the guy tonight. I mean, come on. So it didn't, surprise me at all that he struggled a little bit. But now, as much experience as he's built up this year and as much success as he's built up this year, particularly of late, I think he's going to be, a big factor for Spokane. If they win this series, he's going to be reason number one.
Yep.
100%. That's all I have for you. If you guys got any final thoughts here, we'll let Boiler wrap it up and get the kids to bed.
Yes. Yes. It is a
That's it.
school night after all.
That just goes along with a little note that I have that Ezzy seems to be settling into his role and his spot. I did have that on my notes.
Well, he certainly has. I've been very, very pleased with what I've seen out of him this year, and I know the club has been as well. I talked extensively with Jordan Cook, the goaltending coach, on Saturday, and he just said that the big thing for him is that he's found a routine. He's found his confidence as far as what works for him. And with goaltenders, it's all about keeping it simple, not overthinking things. See puck, stop puck. And he has done a great job of that. And even when he's given one up, he doesn't dwell on it. He moves on. Bang, he's ready for the next save. That, for me, has been the biggest key in his success this year, as it is for any goaltender.
Yeah.
That perfect level of crazy.
Yeah. Goalies are a different breed for sure.
Exactly.
They are.
Exactly.
Well, Boiler, it's always great having you on and talking hockey with you, and look forward to listening to you on the radio here on Friday night as the Chiefs start the first round of the playoffs.
Well, hopefully, boys,
thank
we
you.
have some good news to have on the radio for you. I'm looking forward to, having some good calls and bringing home a couple of wins.
There you go. And stay warm up there.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm already thinking how I'm going to bundle up. I've seen the forecast, and it's not spring yet up there.
Yeah, no
Damn near the Yukon.
It is, and it's going to feel like it because it's going to snow both Tuesday and Wednesday up there. So who knows how much is going to be on the floor when we get up there, but there's certainly going to be snow on the ground when we arrive.
12 hours on the bus and arriving in snow and cold temperatures is always fun.
Yeah. Love it.
They can have it.
Just keep it up there, Boiler.
Please.
Oh, yeah. I will. Trust me.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming on, and go Chiefs, go.
Go Chiefs, go.
Go Chiefs, go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks, Boiler.
Thanks, Blair.